break was only 1 week long, but for our Formula One season here, we have a 3 week spring break, which is not good. That's too much time without racing. So like usual, Alex is here joining me right away today. Our show is probably going to be bad. Listen, we're just going to be upfront about it. Our graphic designer stood us up today, so he got fired. It's really tough to fire someone when you're not paying them, and they're actually not like officially on the team. But he has been fired, and honestly, we'll probably rehire him. But he was going to be on our show. We were going to get a non-Formula One fan on here to just have some fun with for a little bit. But he's not here. Alex has some ideas for some topics. Maybe we'll, I don't know, spitball some stuff. Feel free to ask questions today, especially. We'll need them. But what's up, Alex? How was your Sunday without racing? How was your Easter?
How was my Easter was all right. Didn't really do too much. Family has a bunch of nieces and nephews, so just hung out with them for a bit.
What
How about
what
you?
food
How was
what food are we eating? Hold on, I want to know what food we're eating.
for those of you who don't know, I am Hispanic. I'm Puerto Rican. I know I don't look it.
Perez is Hispanic? Oh my gosh, mantequillo. So what did you
but
eat?
mantequilla. We had some, rice. I know how to say it in Spanish, arroz con gandules. I think they're baby peas, and then pernil, which is like shredded pork shoulder and simple stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. Although pernil
Shredded
is
pork
pretty
shoulder.
shoulder. Yeah, pernil. I'm sure you've heard of it before. Super
I
popular dish. It takes forever to make.
Oh man. No, I don't know if I've ever heard of it, to be honest. We just eat,
Uh,
gringo food. We just have like our ham and stuff. It was good though. It was good.
we had some ham too, some honey ham. I'm just not a fan of honey ham. Keep on telling my stepmom just go with regular ham, but she don't want to
Oh,
listen.
okay. Oh, no honey ham for this guy. How dare we throw some extra flavor on it?
I just don't like this. I'm not a big sweet guy. I'm not a big sweet guy.
I,
Um,
I got you. The candy has been
yeah,
absolutely absurd. Have you been? I've been
yeah,
too much candy. What
yeah.
about you?
So, yeah, way too much candy. I helped one of our buddies with an event for dodgeball, and
Yeah.
I ended up with all the leftover candy. And I'm not a big sweet eater, so I'm trying to force myself to eat like 2 to 3 pieces a day. They're small, but it's a lot.
Oh boy, this is how you slow Alex Perez down for his next dodgeball season. We just start giving him that candy now, getting him a little bit on the heavier side, so he
and
can't duck, dodge,
not,
dip, dive, or duck so fast.
not looking forward to playing having you as an opponent, Johnson. Not looking forward to it at all.
Oh, listen, I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about that. Especially with our graphic designer probably on my team. So
Yeah, he's locked you in. But
yeah, buddy.
yeah,
All right.
it
Well,
should be
it's
fun
good, dude.
regardless.
No racing. And
No racing, yeah.
last time you
Season
said
just
you.
started, man.
Yeah, I
Season just
know. Like,
started.
what a bad schedule. 3 weeks on and then this much time off. It's kind of ugh.
Mm,
It's tough.
but we have some little things we could talk about here and there. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was what is the stipulation going to be for who wins this little game we got going out throughout the season. I had one idea, but did you happen to have anything in mind?
Oh, I want to hear your idea because my idea is money, but I could not
Oh,
be
we
a
could we
degenerate gambler. That would be fine. Like we'd have something
I'm
like
down to
fun,
yeah,
maybe
we could do
something that
simple
relates
like
to the show.
I was thinking more something a little off screen here. I was
Oh,
thinking more like because I'm hoping after this unfortunate season when we're separated that we end up teaming back together in a future season, and I let you come up with a team name
okay. All right. All right. All right. All right.
if you
So
win. If you win,
so if I win, I create our dodgeball team name the next time we're back together,
correct.
which we will definitely be the
Following
Greg
season,
Greg's.
hopefully. The
Um,
Greg, I like it.
all right. So
I don't
okay.
know
So
which. I don't
basically,
know. I don't know which Greg in the league is going to be more upset by it, but
why
we'll
the
let them
other Greg
argue over
gets
that
mad
one.
too?
No, I don't think so at all. But I just think it'd be funny.
Oh, I mean, Greg Bork always will have my heart. All
Yeah,
right. So that's the stipulation. If I win, so I need to come up for something if you win.
sure. I name your
Hmm.
next kid.
You name my next kid? That's
It's going to be
crazy.
Marshall. It's going to
You're
be
gonna
Marshall.
you're gonna be so upset when you hear that I already lost a bet to someone else, and I've already the next name on the kid is already
Wait,
claimed.
are you serious?
I swear to God. Yeah.
Yo, wait. I was joking, but like, what did
No,
you gamble? What did you gamble
I
to
bet
lose this?
I bet someone at the gym they they said this certain movement was gonna be in this workout next in the following week, and I go, no way, it's work. This movement won't be in there. If the movement's in there, I will name my kid after you. And the
Um,
movement was there, and I lost. So
that's a pretty risque bet there, I'll tell you.
yeah, so if the gym community found out that I was going, it's already locked in. So I'm gonna have to think of something else. But all right, I
All
got
right,
you. You
all
want me to
right.
think of something else for you? I got you. I
Yep,
got you.
yep. All right. But
What
again, if the idea is not great, then we can just stick with cash, and we'll decide from there what the
I
amount's going to
like it.
be.
I like it. Let's go to that screen real quick. All right, it's just we're 16-12. You got that 4 point lead week one, and then
No,
we
I thought we were
tied
tied
last
up.
week.
We're
No,
tied up.
because
I
you had
thought.
no.
Oh,
So
it's
we
right. You're right. You're right. I have a 4 point lead. That's right. Yeah, because the
yeah. You
Checo
started eight.
finishing. Yeah.
Yeah, you started 8-4, and then we locked in the same points last week. So 16-12
Yep. Eh,
with what? There's 23 races this year, so we have 20 rounds left.
we didn't guess the first race, right? It was we
No,
were
so
going
that's
on the
why
second race.
I'm
Okay.
starting
Yeah.
round two
So
and
yeah,
round
wrong.
three, so it says like what race we're at.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Then yeah, we have 20 races left. So there's a lot of season left to go, and then there's a summer break too, right? Another big one
Yeah,
coming up.
that's why like in the title I wrote Spring Break Show 1 or whatever I wrote, because there's gonna be this
Gotcha.
is good practice for when we have to talk about nothing during the summer break as well. I think the
But
summer
yeah,
break will probably be better though, because we'll have like a much bigger picture of the season.
we'll have an idea. Yeah, we'll have an idea
Yeah,
of where things are going and stuff too. Um,
we're sitting on 3 races of information that
so
basically the
I
information
think
is Red Bull is dominant. Like it's
yeah, I think we can also we can come up, but I think it's nice because we don't have that information entirely, all that information on the Red Bull being dominant, that we can speculate a little more and we can make it a little more intriguing. Like one of
yeah.
the things I wanted to talk about today was how do we feel about these driver lineups, these new ones coming in? We got a new, other than the big three staying the same, right? Because we got Ferrari stayed the same, Red Bull stayed the same, Mercedes stayed the same. Who do we have that's new? We got Williams changed it up with Sargent. We
Yep.
got Alpine changing it up with the whole French mess is going to happen there.
Oui. Yep.
Um, we got Aston Martin replacing one grandfather for another grandfather.
Oh, Fernando would be so mad you said that.
He's great drivers, better than the younger guy they got. Then we got what else we got? We got Alpine, we got Aston, we got McLaren, one Aussie for another Aussie.
Yeah,
Uh,
Aussie.
yeah. We can keep on going down the list. I know there's more, but so how are we feeling about these new lineups? Anyone sticking out in particular to you, like looking like a good duo, or looking like they might move on to another team, or like they might not be there next season, other than maybe Yuki?
Yeah, no, I love that you brought that up. So I guess somewhere where I'd like to start. We talk about the Alpha Tori car quite often being not good. So
Mm-hmm.
I think what's most interesting to me is what does Nick have in that car, because he was in that Williams at Monza, which was a very low downforce favored car, which Williams had last year, and he put it in the points. So he's looking like a monster. Like Alex gets was it he needed
The
the
surgery,
yes
appendix.
appendix removed. Nick hops in last minute, puts it in the points. You're like, oh man, Nick's gonna be a guy. Then he gets into the car he's in now, and he's running like crappy. So like I think it's interesting because he had that one race in another car where you were like, oh my gosh, he might be good. But you get these guys like Sargent and Oscar, they don't have a single metric to compare themselves against. Um,
Uh huh.
so when I look at Nick's results, like I think they're disappointing. But like he might be driving better than Logan, but like for Logan, I'm like, well, he's never been in a Formula One car, so like he's doing good. So I find that interesting. That
Yeah,
occupies some space in my brain for sure.
yeah, the optics are definitely very different. Uh, the Williams, I think it's a better car than the Alpha as of right now this year. I also think Yuki is a lot more talented, and if he can just cool his temper down, I think he'd be a decent driver because he puts the car. I think in almost every race this season, he's been close to the points or in the points. I think
Yep.
he's finished like P11, P10, and then was the last race P10 or P something. I
No,
forget.
yeah,
But
I forget too. Well,
But
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like Australia is like it's a blur in my mind because of all those wrecks and stuff on the last lap. Like,
yeah.
you know what I
But
mean?
Yuki's always been like even in Jeddah, he just got passed up for P11. I'm sorry, for P10. He was just in the points, and I just remember his sticking out because he ended up the guy his race engineer comes on the radio, and all you hear is him saying "fuck." He just
Yep.
yells at the top of his lungs. But I think Yuki has speed to him. He just can't cool himself down enough to like put it all together. I think we saw some flashes from Sargent when he in that Q2 or I'm sorry Q3 qualifying where he the flashes of immaturity. Sorry, where he did show that I think he would have qualified P6 had he not ran off track, the car off track that in Jeddah for Q3, and then he would have obviously been into Q2 or whatever. But I think Sargent's impressing me a lot more than I thought.
Yeah. Well, first of all, shouts out Julian Log tuning into the show today. What's up, buddy? Um, what do you think? I don't think anyone who has joined one of these teams is the new number one. I think everyone who has joined is a solidified number two. Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, for sure. Logan's definitely gonna be number two. Oscar. It's hard to say what you get from Oscar yet because that McLaren's so bad, right? And I
Yep.
know people are riding high on him. Uh, Obviously, Daniel Ricciardo clearly wasn't the problem in McLaren, and McLaren is a problem in McLaren.
That is true.
Um, but I'd like to see Piastri in a good car before we really decide on what's going to happen with him. Because
Yeah.
I think he has potential to be a number one driver. I also think he's going against probably the hardest opponent of these newer drivers.
Yeah.
This is Lando. I think is like a top five driver. Yeah, like at the top five, maybe right outside the top five.
Yeah.
But
it was just none of these guys were joining like daddy money guys. Oh, you
no,
know what? No. So I guess we're technically wrong as I say that. Fernando joined Aston and he's the new number one. So I guess
correct, yeah,
that'd be the only one. But normally like Albon joining Latifi last year, like you know,
yeah,
what in that
everyone
situation, he quickly became like top dog, you
for
know.
sure. I mean, like he definitely brought the Red Bull experience with him, and
Mhm.
he also was really underrated. I'm a huge Albon fan, so I'll stand by that.
Yeah, I listen. I Nothing makes me happier than Alex and Alex together. That's what I
Rooting
love, baby.
for, always got to
Alex,
root for the Alexanders.
Alex and Alex. For the Alexanders. Yeah, no. So I think the driver lineups are pretty good. Um, I it's funny. Probably the most animosity between teammates right at this moment, unless you think of someone else, is probably Checo and Max, right?
You really think that's real? That's
The
another thing I want to talk
animosity?
about. Yeah,
Yeah, of course it's real.
you think so?
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know because like my thing, I Checo's obviously knows he's number two driver. I did see a thing where he had to delete his tweet after he won Jeddah, right?
Mm-hmm.
He won Jeddah. I remember he like I want to be like he typed it out in Spanish and at the end of it he had said I'm striving to be like the F1 champion of the world or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I heard they made him delete the tweet and he typed it all out again except he left that last bit out.
See what
But
I mean? So see, that's
but do
animosity,
you
dude.
I feel like it's a little fabricated. I just like the check. There's no. Let me not say that because like I like Checo. I like Sergio Perez a lot. He's he'd be a number one driver on a mid car team. He's not a
Yep.
number one driver on these top teams. Like he's there for. He knows what he was there for. He did what he was. He did what he was supposed to do when he was brought in. Max, like I said, the top three drivers, no questions asked, are Fernando, Lewis, and Max. No, those three, if they're in similar machinery, can go at it all day. But you
Yep.
can't put these guys in similar machinery, like somebody like Checo, and expect Checo to honestly win this. Like I think we talked about it last week. Checo and Max, when they have had a head-to-head race, Max has gapped them by like 10 seconds. As long as Max doesn't have any technical problems or have some floor damage or something, he gaps them every time. So
Yeah.
like while the animosity on Checo's part might be real, it's almost like Max probably isn't really even paying attention to it because it doesn't affect. Like
You're
Red Bull's
you're
always
you're
gonna side with him.
you're right. Max it probably isn't, and nor should he pay attention to it. But I think this like notion that like okay, this driver's gonna slide into a number two spot as a driver. Like I think they all from little kids want to win the
Of
championship.
course.
And like, so I think like Checo, like he's like, okay, if if Max can crash here, and I can take advantage of this 1 to 2 races, like there might be a shot at the championship. Um, and I think that's kind of it builds a little heat and tension. And then you had like the Monaco situation last year and the Brazil situation last year, and like it's only going to take one of those situations to happen this year. I feel like for it to get a little hot in the Red Bull camp.
Because this was my thing. It was like I saw something. I don't know if I sent it to you. I think I did. I think Hebe sent it to me, and I might have sent it to you. And it was something along the where Red Bull realized that their PR image looks horrible, so they brought on Daniel Ricciardo to try to
Yeah.
save that because Danny can work magic and anything when it comes to the PR. Dude's marketing poster boy child. That being said, I also saw people saying they brought him in to replace Checo, and I don't see Checo really leaving. And I want to say they're about the same age. I don't think there's much of a difference there.
Between who?
Ricardo and Checo.
Oh, I thought you meant
No,
between
between
Max and
between
Checo.
Max and
I
no,
was gonna
yeah,
do. What are you? Are
there's
you
like
drunk?
almost 10 years. Yeah, it's like
Um,
I think Checo's like mid-30s,
here I'm
mid
looking it
early.
up. I'm looking up right now. So Checo
Yeah,
is Checo's
I think he's like
33.
34, 33. Okay, and then Danny's like 31, 32.
No, Danny's 33. They're both the same age.
That's what I'm saying. So like, it makes it almost feels completely fabricated to me. Like I don't see Checo losing his seat to Danny to Danny Rick
Yeah.
unless unless in the simulator Danny's like ripping him to shreds, then maybe. But like I don't see that happening. The animosity almost seems like I feel like Red Bull's just like okay, this is gonna draw in clicks. Fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I think Ricardo makes a return to Formula One, maybe, but it's not in the
Not a
Red
Red
Bull.
Bull.
We're in full.
I just don't know where. That's another
Yeah.
question. Like
Um,
I don't. He's maybe William. No, because William. I think William's gonna hang on to Sargent and Albon.
he had the chance to go to Williams.
I know. He said no. That's what I'm saying. They already. I just think they're gonna hang on to Sargent. I think he's
Yeah,
showing his flashes of decent potential. Plus, the
yeah.
American fans will vote for him.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know where he comes back or where he slides into, unless like, yeah, I don't. Like a random Hamilton retirement. I think they'd put Mick
Even
Schumacher in the
then,
car.
I don't think they would put Mick there. I think it would go
Mick's
somebody else.
Mick's
I
their
think.
reserve driver, dude.
I know he's their reserve driver, but I'm saying for like let's say Lewis Hamilton retires at the end of this year, which I don't see it happening yet. I think Lewis wants to give it one more good shot at a championship and then go on his way.
Well, you
Um,
just created the title of this video, Lewis Hamilton to retire at the end of the year, so we get clicks. Thanks for that, Alex.
no problem, anytime. Not but like Lewis isn't going anywhere. At least I'd say Lewis is probably gonna. Every year it seems like Mercedes are having a contract negotiation with Lewis, but
Yeah, cause he's keeping him short. He
hmm and
just
then
just in case he's gotta. I'm out. Even though he says he's not leaving.
he's not leaving. Not like I said. I think he's gonna give it one more good year, and if they don't provide him with a car next year, then maybe I could see him leaving, but not this year. But all
No.
right, so it's just so hypothetical. Even if Lewis does leave, like I think they would replace him with somebody else. Like I don't think they would go Ocon. Um, maybe just give another number two driver and solidify George as number one. So maybe Mick. I guess that could kind of work.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, George would be at least a 5 year vet, right? 2 or 3 with Williams, and he'd be 2 with Mercedes. If Hamilton was to leave this year, next year, I think he'd be like a 6 year driver.
Yeah, 6 years.
So then, yeah, you maybe George is your number one. Our guy Julian asked who won the race last week. Julian, there was no race last week. That's why the show is what it is today, because all we did was bet on the Masters this weekend and lost. So no race winner last week. We had Max won Australia, and we're waiting for Azerbaijan at the end of April. So Azerbaijan. Yeah, no driver lineups though. They're interesting. I mean, what does Bottas do? I don't know the details. How long is that contract?
Yeah, that.
He's not going
I'm
back
curious
to a
where that's
better
gonna
car.
go. No, he's staying where he is. He's stuck where he is. How retires? He's like 30. I think he's like 34. think he's
Bottas is
even
older than Checo, and
33, 34. I don't know. I could be wrong.
He's
He might
33.
33. My
Yeah,
God,
they're
they all
all,
came in
what
at the
was
same
it?
time.
Everyone was born in 89 or 90. Jeez Louise. Oh man.
I could see him retiring soon. He doesn't seem like he's definitely a competitive guy. I think he's got a secret competitiveness, a more secret competitiveness than people would give him credit for. But he's also a super like just humble, laid back dude. He just seems like he would just like retire in Finland and you would never hear from him again.
Yeah, he'd be naked in the sauna. That's all. That's the only
Yeah.
picture we'd get. Or he'd be biking with the new missus. Yeah, we have Valtteri's 33. Nico's 35. Sergio's 33. And then Lewis is 38 and Fernando's 41. Those are the older drivers on the grid. And I'm trying to think of like reserve drivers. Oh boy, did we lose them? Oh, Alex. Um, yeah. So for reserve drivers, though, just to finish my thought here while we're on it, I know Mick Schumacher's a reserve driver. He's on the younger side. Um, Felipe Dragovich, maybe for Aston Martin. I probably hacked up that last name so bad. Pretty sure Fittipaldi's in there for Haas. He's on the younger side. By younger, definitely under 30. I mean, so a lot of the reserve drivers in my mind are young compared to like when you had Robert Kubica in there for a while. Um, Nico was a test driver at some point. Alex might be back. Let's see.
You can't hear
Oh,
me, can you?
welcome back to the show.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Where'd you go?
You gotta love Cox Communications cable internet.
Uh-oh.
Might be some of the worst thing on the planet.
Is
So,
it Cox or is it the cat? Is mad you locked it out of the room.
No, she's I don't know where she is. The door's open, but no, the internet here, it just goes in and out randomly. It
Oh,
sucks.
that's not good. Damn Cox,
Not at all.
get your stuff together.
All
Um,
right. So what are you talking about before I rudely interrupted?
no, we were just talking about kind of the age of some of the drivers, and I was saying I finished my thought when you went off. A lot of the reserve drivers are young. Um, like I was saying, Schumacher, Fittipaldi, Dragovich for Aston Martin. I forget if Giovinazzi is still in that driver pool. I think that Schwartzman's is someone's reserve driver. It's not like when like Nico Hulkenberg was a reserve driver and Robert Kubica. Like those guys were on the on the older side. I think a lot of these reserve
Yeah,
drivers are younger now.
Kubica. Forgot about Kubica.
Yep. So a lot of youth going on in the sport right now. Plus, hey, you know what though? You know we talk. Where's people gonna find seat? We can't forget that quite possibly could another team be coming to the grid soon.
Yeah, but for some reason because who was it? He's an American driver.
Andretti?
Andretti.
Oh
Andretti
no.
wanted in. It was
Oh yeah.
Andretti. Andretti wanted in. They vetoed him out. Like they did not want him part of the sport. Which
Yeah, they can't do that forever though. Someone will get in.
I would like to think so, but I don't know because I remember like what was it? There was 24 drivers on track like 10 years ago
Yeah. I
or
will
whatever it
say though,
was.
there was 24 on track, but like those last two teams, it was like at one point it was like Sauber and Minardi.
Yeah,
Like
some
they
of them
were
wouldn't qualify. They wouldn't even
oh my
qualify for the race.
they were so far off the pace it shouldn't even have been a thing.
Yeah,
Um yeah, no, it
but
was rough.
Porsche, I know Porsche is interested about coming in, and then Audi, I think was the other one, right? Did we just cut out again?
No, we're good.
Okay.
I was going over my notes. Yeah, no, I think Audi's getting in. It's crazy though is I don't know if it's just me maybe, but I remember talking with someone at the gym about the Audi deal, and did I lose him again?
Wait, no, my Wi-Fi's on. right now. It's like, nope, nope. I gotta talk to Cox. This is horrible.
I can hear you. Oh, there you are.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
Yeah,
this might be a problem all day.
that's all right. Well, it's a short stream anyways today, so we're good.
Mhm.
Um, I remember talking to someone about like Audi and like how they were joining the sport because someone was like, "Are they starting a new team? Or are they just gonna, you know?" And I remember I looked up all the information and I knew everything, but like they're not joining the sport for like potentially another like 2 years plus. You
I
know, like
know they were.
so I forget. Like it's these deals are so down the line that
This.
like I forget about them.
I know there was I know there was a deal with Red Bull with Porsche. I think it was that was supposed to go through, and it fell through. Something went wrong or whatever. I forget. It was like money. I don't know what it was. But I like to see another team on the grid for sure, as long as they can afford it, like Audi, a Volkswagen, whoever.
Yeah, it looks like is going to. Audi has purchased a minority stake in the Sauber Formula One team, the Alfa
Okay, that's what
Romeo.
it is. So that's Alpha. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
When
the
did
2000, the
is
2026 F1 season. And that's, I
okay
guess, when
is
Ford's going to join too.
up four? That's gonna be an interesting one.
Yep.
Is what was I gonna say? Oh, how is has AlphaTauri been around for a minute? Since like ever since Red Bull joined, have they been around, or are they a newer team too? Because I know they were called Toro Rosso before,
Ever
but
since Red Bull has joined, I'm not sure, but I'm almost positive like Sebastian Vettel was in it.
because I know he was Toro Rosso, and then he went to Red Bull. But I'm just curious like who they bought out to like get that spot, or if they were just always there.
Scuderia Toro Rosso, coming on.
Oh, they were a Ferrari team.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're an
That's insane
Italian.
to think
They're
about.
an Italian team. They're just owned by Red Bull.
Yeah,
Toro
I
Rosso
I knew
functioned
because they
as
were
a
the
junior team to Red Bull Racing with the aim of developing the skills of promising drivers for their senior team. The team made its racing debut in '06 season, moving to complete independence from its sister team in 2010.
okay. So it joined in '06.
Yep.
And then Red Bull, so Red Bull joined '06 too.
I don't know when Red Bull joined.
Like when did Red Bull join?
And yes, people, this is why we said the show is going to stink today because we know nothing.
Oh
Google
04.
it. Yeah,
So
so
they
two
joined
years
in
before.
'04, and then yeah, so Toro Rosso joined after. Okay, I
Yeah.
wonder if Red Bull just joined if they had to replace someone. A lot of history I
Uh,
should have done. I should have looked up on before.
no, I mean it. I mean it's tricky when you like we always say, go back and watch a race, and there will be so many different things, different teams. Like, you know, we all know Alpine right now, but don't forget 2 years ago they were Renault for a long ass time. You know,
Just crazy. I can't stand the new Alpine livery.
Mercedes was Braun GP.
Braun, and they had the miracle year. What a story that is. You know that
Yeah,
one? That's
story.
insane.
It's a story. Whenever they make rules about a car after one season, that's a story, all right. Um, I heard that car was dominant. I'm trying to rewatch all the
It
Lewis
was their first
Hamilton.
year. It
Yeah,
was their first year, and they won a championship. That's insane.
I'm trying to rewatch all the Lewis Hamilton years, and they start right after the Braun GP year. Um,
Diatec Mashuit. Hold on, sorry. They replaced Jaguar Racing. They took over the. Sorry, Red Bull. I'm sorry, I'm going a little off track, but they replaced. They took the remnants of Jaguar Racing in 2004 to join.
yeah, it's
Interesting.
it's it's crazy. These teams change so much. I don't know if there's just more history. When I compare it to NASCAR, like Hendrick Motorsports has been around forever. I guess they'd be like Ferrari, and some of these teams have been around forever. But I guess there's new teams in NASCAR. There's new teams in Formula One. It's just how it is.
So, like, what are the big teams in NASCAR right now? Because I know, like, I know Gordon had a team for a minute, but I don't know. if
Well,
he's
he
still
never
there.
he never had his own team. He was part of Hendrix, and he had like some
Oh,
stake in
okay.
it. And now he's like I'm gonna call him. He's like next in line to take over, is what it looks like. They're grooming him. And then
Gotcha.
Coach Gibbs has Gibbs Racing. Um, they're a big team. They've been for
What
so many
about
years.
who did the Earnhardt drive for? I forget. I know it was
Uh,
Budweiser, but like,
yeah, no,
or
Earnhardt.
Junior did.
They drove for Richard Childress Racing. They're still around. Um,
Okay.
Chip
So
Ganassi
Earnhardt,
sold. Yeah, Earnhart never owned his own NASCAR team. They always drove for people.
I thought Junior would have tried to by now.
No, Junior owns his own Xfinity team, JRM
Okay.
Motorsports or JR Motorsports. Um, but yeah, so no, but I guess when I compare, I mean Ferrari's been around forever, so that's just how it is in racing. You get teams coming in and out all the time.
It's so crazy how Ferrari's been around for that long.
I heard a rumor, an Instagram post. If we want to get into our rumor mill, um, that Red Bull was bringing upgrades to Baku. That's gonna make them 2/10 faster.
Sounds about right. Um,
And
do
that's
we?
no joke. I mean, I don't know the legitimacy of that Instagram post, but it said Red Bull expected to bring upgrades to make them 2/10 faster. Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah, let's just hope that catering budget doesn't get take a hit for that one.
The catering budget. Yeah, what's funny is they're supposed to have this reduced time in
Yeah,
the
I
arrow
know.
later on. It's not even gonna
Yeah,
matter. You could take away their arrow right now. I don't like. It would be so much for these teams to close the gap. It'd be insane.
yeah, yeah. What is it? It's because they already reduced because they won the constructors championship, so it was like I think they're down like 70% or something like that than what the
Yeah.
normally is. Or
What?
I forget what the number is.
Yeah. I don't know how nerdy we want to get on this show, but I would love to know like, what is 70%? Is it an hours thing? Does everyone get 100 hours and then you get like every time in the constructor your percent is less hours? Like what 70% of what? Is it time? You know what I mean? Like
Well, so like a question. So like I don't. Is this like a this arrow tunnel they're talking about? Is doesn't every facility have one?
no,
No. Okay.
no.
So is
People
this like an F1 facility that they just let them use to test their
no, so like
aerodynamics? I guess.
no, no, no. So the reason they had to put aerodynamic limits on is because I think like Mercedes has their own and Red Bull has their own, but like
Yeah, because I know
these
Aston
lower
Martin's getting
teams,
their own.
yeah, exactly. So these lower teams didn't have one. So I think the
Okay.
lower teams were like, how do you expect us to compete? Like we don't have the money to build our own wind tunnel. These guys are in there changing stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I
So the
think yeah,
so
go
the
ahead.
lower teams that can't afford their own wind tunnel, do they get one provided for them at all, or
No,
are they just kind of just going
I
off the
think they just
whim
I
of
think
like,
they just go somewhere.
okay,
I'm sure there's wind tunnels. But what's crazy about this sport is like so there's like this wind tunnel time we're talking about, or we're trying to figure out what is the limit on it. Um, but also uh, like apparently over their summer break, like they're not allowed to log into their computers. Like
it's so. I mean, I
and
get it. Like, are these teams with like millions and millions of dollars more? They can't really keep up, but it's such a weird thing. I don't know to
yeah,
like that to like. But yeah, you can't do your job for 2 weeks. Just
well, and
just
like how do they police it? Like if we really wanted to get down to the nitty gritty, let's say Mercedes owns their own wind tunnel. Like how does anyone from outside Mercedes like know? Like oh maybe they went down there for 20 minutes
I'm
today. Like how do you know?
yeah. I would think that they have like somebody in the FIA who's like nitty gritty with like cybersecurity, and they just kind of keep track of like the computer logs and stuff like
Oh,
that, or
they have
or have it,
access.
yeah, or they have access to the cameras or something.
Yeah. Um, maybe I mean I don't know how nerdy the show would want to get to learn all those details, but like those are like legitimate things. Like someone goes to a third party facility, they probably need to log their hours, and there's probably an invoice like you had to spend X amount of money for coming to our wind tunnel for the day, but you have your own wind tunnel. Like, how's anyone going to police you? But like you said, probably some cybersecurity stuff. They probably
I
have to
mean, at this
log.
point, yeah.
I don't know. It seems like you open it up to some shadiness, trying to
I'm
create
sure. I'm sure people find ways
restrictions.
around it. Like I wouldn't be if it is something like, oh, the camera feed is what they keep track of or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody just like hacks into the camera feed and makes it look like no one's there the entire time,
Yeah,
and they just go through. Like like there's too much money involved. There's too much sponsorship. There's too much risk. People are gonna if they can get ahead in the sport, they're gonna take it.
yeah.
It
Oh,
sucks. It sucks, but
I'll
I
call
wouldn't be
up
surprised if it does happen.
George Clooney and Brad Pitt. We'll run like an Ocean's 15 on this place. You know what I mean? I've seen it done in a movie. It's no big deal. Um, yeah. So that's what we got. All right. Let's talk constructor standings for the end of the year. Um, I guess we can uh briefly say Red Bull won, right? We don't need to have a
Yep.
discussion about that.
Hmm.
Let's talk about 2, 3, and 4 then. What are you thinking?
I think two's gonna be Mercedes. I think they're gonna pull ahead of Aston Martin towards the end of the season,
Okay.
towards the latter half of the season.
Okay.
Three Aston, four Mercedes. I'm sorry, four Ferrari.
Okay. I,
Insane to think about.
yeah, I want to say on this short week, I'm just like looking to disagree with you on anything just to make this show longer. But I think I got to agree. I think Mercedes has like they've already shown that they're gonna be there, and I think the driver lineup of Lewis and George is better than Fernando and Stroll, and I think that's gonna make the difference.
Yeah, that too. I also see this will make the shows interesting though because we have so little information, and Mercedes look good at Australia, but Mercedes also wants to bring an entirely new package coming in pretty soon, and who's to say they don't go backwards? Like
Ooh,
clearly
okay,
their wind
yeah.
tunnel, clearly their wind tunnel is showing them different information with this no side pod thing that they aren't seeing on track because they stuck with it for a while for a reason. So
Yeah.
it's just fingers crossed
Yes.
they don't go backwards, but it could happen.
Yeah. And hey, that's a great point. Because I think they've done decent the last 2 weeks. Um, yeah. So there's the Azerbaijan Grand Prix this week. Or excuse me, not this week. Is the next one.
Truly. Mm-hmm.
Miami is after that. So two races, and then it's Imola, which apparently that's when
The
the
logistics
new
of that makes no fucking sense, but yeah.
no, yeah, no. But that's
Let's
apparently
go
when the
from
new car.
America, I'll go back to this continent, to go to this continent, to go to this continent. Instead of just like, let's just do all three races in America.
Nah, they closed
And
their
go
eyes.
to Mexico.
They just threw darts
Yeah,
everywhere.
pretty much. Like,
Pacha.
something that I feel like doesn't get talked about too is like these drivers, their sleeping schedule's got to be fucked up.
Oh my god.
Because like I could not go from like East Coast to go to Australia to go race what to me would be 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Like their sleeping schedule's got to be screwed. Either that or
Yeah.
they're on some crazy melatonin.
They're- Melatonin. Yeah. Okay. I think they're on some better stuff if they're on anything. Um, but that's how I don't know how you feel. It's like now that we have the show and stuff. Like I want a race every single weekend because I just love it so much. But then I think of like what these teams have to go through. Like, don't forget that the race is on Sunday, right? But you have practice qualifying Saturday, practice Friday. Those boys are there on Thursdays for media day. The drivers are, and I assume the teams
Mm,
are. So when there's back-to-back weekends, they have to travel from country to country
it's
from
exhausting.
Sunday night.
It
They have
trans
Monday,
and
Tuesday, and
transport that car.
yeah, I don't know how you feel. I want more racing, but then I literally am like, okay, I can
It's
understand how
exhausting.
this, yeah, how
Yeah,
this
it's
could be,
exhausting. Like
and that's why,
25 already seems like too much. Like it's half the year. That's almost
yeah,
half the year. That's
yeah, and,
insane.
and listen, that's cool. NASCAR does 36 races a year. They never leave the United States. Maybe they
Yeah.
dabble down to Mexico and Canada real quick, but they're not like, yeah, I don't know. It's just I feel bad that I want more, but like I'm almost like I get how the sport was kind of like they'd race one week, next weekend would be off, and then they'd race the following week. Like I could
Hmm.
see how that was kind of like the old school schedule for a while. It makes sense.
Now imagine doing that, but 26 races a year or 25 races a year. That literally they'd get what Christmas break off or something,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
come
yeah.
back.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny. So we have actually coming up for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix is our first sprint race of the year.
That's exciting. I like this for races a lot.
I don't mind it. Max hates it. Not I think hates it is what he disliked it. Um, he says it takes away from a little bit from the excitement of qualifying on Saturday, and it puts more stress into an already long weekend. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of like it, but
I said for the entertainment. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Continue.
no, no, no. I'm,
Uh,
I'm right there. I'm probably
okay.
gonna repeat
Okay.
what you
For
say. For the
okay. For
entertainment, good,
yeah, for the
but
entertainment value, it's fantastic. Like we had last year with Lewis in Brazil. I'm sorry, 2 years ago with Lewis in Brazil, where he overtook like 10 places to get from P20 to P10, and
yeah,
then start the race to P10, and like you get some exciting moments. There's another one. I think Brazil last year was exciting, right? Yeah, because yeah, George won it. I think it was a Mercedes one too,
oh
right?
yeah,
If I
because
remember right.
Kevin Magnussen qualified first because he got the one good lap in on slicks and then it started
Yep.
raining. Yep. No, I'm
So
right
like,
there with you. I think entertainment it's good. I enjoyed it at the Red Bull Ring last year. That was when Lewis got stuck behind the Haas's for a while. Um,
mhm,
but I can also see how it can I guess
exhausting.
yeah.
Like you said, it's already a long week. 'Cause like you said, they get there Thursday, right? But the race ends Sunday, and then from Sunday they have to go, and probably Sunday night they're probably like maybe decompressing a little to wake up early Monday to transfer everything they got their schedules to go all the way to across to whatever part of the world they got to get to, and then wake up Tuesday in another country and try to fix your sleeping schedule to whatever you got to accommodate to go probably strategize with your team Wednesday to all Tuesday, all Wednesday, get some simulation sessions in, and then that's not even to account for like like they want to test out different things in the car, so they're probably throwing different ideas and spitballing here and there, and then they got to go to media day Thursday, Friday free practice 1 and 2, then you got free practice 3, then you got qualify. It's a long week.
Yeah. Yep. The only thing that I think might compare um, is I know you're not too familiar, but the World of Outlaws sprint cars on dirt. They race 89 races a year.
Jesus.
So yeah, so they're constantly moving and like they'll get done with a race probably at midnight because all those races are at night. They hit a car wash usually that night and clean everything because the dirt. They go to a hotel, they sleep for a couple hours, they wake up literally in like the hotel parking lot. They pull the car out, they'll have it apart, fixing it, and then go
Jesus.
racing the next night. So I know one or two of those guys, and they're on the road all the time. They're getting beat up like that too. Um,
That's
and here
exhausting.
we are, where we are recapping it all on Monday in the comforts of our own home.
I was gonna say I had one me and our buddy DeCella. We we got lucky one time. Went to the indoor karting session that is local,
Yeah.
and we went there and just went with the intention to buy 2 races. And I guess they were having like a scrim night or something, and they're like, "Hey, like if you want to buy these 2 races, we'll throw it all in for like $5 more. You can get 6 races with these guys." And I'm an amateur compared to those guys, and they did not like me on track at first, and they were just bullying me like ramming me into the wall any chance they got. And then eventually when me and the cello started getting grips of the track, we put up some pretty impressive times. I think the cello ended up in the top 10 for the month. I was like right outside of it,
Yeah.
by like a thousandth of a second or something. But like my body was hurting the next day too. I
Yeah.
was in so much pain.
Yep. And yeah, and it's no different for those Formula One drivers. That's why they train as hard as they do. Their body
Well,
definitely gets beat like
even
that.
like the guy, I can't imagine what the guys you were just talking about going through then, because
Yeah.
like
No. And then you
that
have to
seems physical.
yeah, you have to remember like you went home and slept in your own bed that night. Those dudes are
That's
sleeping
true.
in hotel rooms like
Yeah,
they're driving all night some nights. Like they're not, it's
no, that's exhausting.
yeah, those that life that's why that lifestyle even on the Formula 1 team, that it'll eat you up and spit you out.
I
And you have
remember who the Ferrari drivers were doing like a video or something last year, and Carlos was trying to say how their life is so hard, and
oh,
Leclerc, who lost a crap ton of people in his life, he's like, our life really isn't that hard. It's like
oh my
we get catered to it with everything.
I wish I had that video like clipped and ready to go because you're right. That is such a great video of him putting it into perspective that it's not all that. Oh man. Um. All right, bud. I mean, listen, we've been BSing here for a little bit. We got 2 more weeks of this. Um. So maybe let's call it for the day. Uh.
Yeah.
I had so the goal was to bring Ryan on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought maybe I was gonna show him some clips of like I'll show him like 15 seconds, and then I'll pause it, if there was gonna be like a pass or a crash, and ask him to like guess what happens next.
Oh, that'd be kind of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a few like clips at the top of my dome, and I knew you could have some too. So maybe if Ryan doesn't blow us off next week and properly schedules his PT, we'll be good. Um, yeah, I don't know,
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah, I got you. Um,
Oh, oh,
this
is it because he had that bad rash? Is that's what that is? He had that rash in that
yeah,
spot that
yeah,
we yeah.
yeah.
Oh boy.
The
Yeah.
wifey doesn't know about that. Let's just
Oh
like
oh
keep in the
oh.
deal. Oh.
Oops. Sorry, Ryan. Oops.
No, but yeah, I definitely send me those if unless you want to try to save that for me next week. But I think I'm probably gonna know them if you're unless you go back to like Schumacher days or something.
Yeah, no,
But
you probably like the first one that I had in mind. I was like, Alex better be quiet if I play it because I know that he's gonna know it right off the rip. So
yeah, yeah. So send me those clips and I'll see if I can throw some other ones in there that I can think of. And then we definitely got to get Ryan on the show for that because that sounds pretty cool.
yeah, I know. I think it'll be fun with Ryan. I know myself. Ooh. It would not be a show. It would not be a show, ladies and gentlemen, if the cat did not arrive onto the chair. Yeah, so I got some family in town this week, so there's not going to be an all things racing here. We're going to end the show. But I know last year when I was doing the show solo, I was only doing shows after races. So I myself am thoroughly enjoying a weekly content with you guys. And I'm so appreciative that you're here with me, Alex. And let's get back together next Monday.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. I'll talk
All
to
right.
you. Good.